I'll like you put the line up.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to our broadcast tonight of this Western Canadian Baseball League matchup between the visiting Moose Jaw Miller Express and your hometown Yorkton Cardinals. This is game 2 of the doubleheader tonight. Has been made up from last month, as the Millers were supposed to be in Yorkton, but we did have some rainfall, so there was no game as it was moved to today. 2 7-inning games tonight, no 9-inning games, so we'll only be playing 7 tonight. Beautiful night here in Yorkton, Saskatchewan. Sunny skies, not a cloud in sight, and 22 degrees Celsius. Expecting nothing but sunshine for the rest of the tonight. Sun's supposed to go down at 9 o'clock tonight. Robbie Dombrowski's done his lineup change.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Yorkton Cardinals taking the field. Go ahead, guys.
Sean Monroe leading off for the Cardinals tonight in right field. Phil Whalen batting second tonight in center field. Luke Shakirk, the designated hitter tonight for the Cardinals. Zach Taylor batting in fourth and playing first base tonight. Kai Takahashi Ho playing left field and batting fifth tonight. Logan McDougall batting sixth and playing third base tonight for the Cardinals. Grant Kosanke playing shortstop tonight and playing seventh. Cade Corbett batting eighth and catching tonight, balls and strikes. And Tanner Heber is at second base tonight for the Cardinals. Jake Anderson is tonight's starting pitcher for Game 2 against the Moose Jaw Miller Express. First pitch is coming up momentarily. Welcome back here to Jubilee Park in Yorkton. We are leading off the top of the first, and it is the center fielder Eric Murietz leading off for the Moose Jaw Miller Express here in the top of the first. Once again, Jake Anderson is on the hill tonight for the Cardinals. First pitch high and upstairs, ball one. Second pitch is low and outside. 2-0 the count to Marriott. Called for strike. 2-1 the count. Ground ball to the first baseman, Zach Taylor. He'll toss it over to Anderson. One gone here in the top of the first. Blake Gallagher, the second baseman, batting second tonight for the Moose Jaw Millers, takes first pitch high and inside for ball one. The 1-0 from Anderson. Swing and a miss from Gallagher evens the count at 1-1. Good curveball from Anderson. Makes it a 1-2 count to the second baseman Gallagher. The 1-2. High and upstairs evens the count at 2-2. He did go around, however.
Are you kidding?
A little bit of a shaky play over there at first base, but they do get him. 2 gone here as Gallagher goes down on strikes.
Now batting designated hitter number 3, Michael Borst. So that's a K23.
Michael Borst, the designated hitter tonight for the Miller Express, now up to bat. 2 gone here in the top of the first. Takes a called first strike on the inside corner of the plate. 0-1 the count. Second pitch in the dirt and outside evens the count at 1-1. Pops it straight up to the center fielder. Looks like Phil Whalen's out there. That does it for Moose Jaw here in the top of the first. They score no runs, no hits, no Yorkton Cardinal errors, no one left on. Heading to the bottom of the first, it's the Moose Jaw Miller Express. No score. Yorkton Cardinals coming to bat. We'll be right back with more Yorkton Cardinals baseball here on YouTube Live. Welcome back, folks, to Yorkton Cardinals baseball here on YouTube Live. We are in the bottom of the first inning, and pitching tonight for the Moose Jaw Miller Express is Jeff Nicolosi. And leading off for the Yorkton Cardinals in the bottom of the first is the right fielder Sean Monroe. Monroe swinging on the first pitch and pops out to the second baseman for out number one. A quick first out here for the Cardinals.
Now batting in center field, number 6, Phil Wayland.
Nicolosi comes into tonight's game pitching 34 innings this season so far, 16 strikeouts on the campaign, as well as a 4.50 earned run average. Some decent numbers from the right-hander. Now batting is the center fielder, Phil Wayland, takes a first pitch called strike. High and outside for ball one. Fouled off into the screen. 1-2 the count. Phil Wayland is caught looking for out number 2. That brings to the plate the designated hitter for tonight is Luke Shakirik.
Number 12, Luke Shakirik.
The 0-0 pitch to Shakirik. It is grounded to the first baseman. And that will do it for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the first. They score no runs, no hits, no Moose Jaw errors, nobody left on. Heading to the top of the second, we are still tied at 0. We'll be right back with more Yorkton Cardinals baseball here on YouTube Live. Welcome back, folks, to the top of the second inning of tonight's Western Canadian Baseball League matchup between the Moose Jaw Miller Express and your hometown Yorkton Cardinals. The catcher Cole Workin leading off for the Miller Express here in the top of the second, rather. Called for a strike. Fouled off back into the screen to make the count 0-2 to the catcher, Workin. Low and outside. 1-2 the count. Workin hits a high fly ball to left field, but it looks like Takahashi Ho will be there. Workin flies out for out number 1. Jordy McDougall, the third baseman for the Miller Express tonight, now up at the plate. McDougall fouls it back for strike number 1. Jake Anderson comes into tonight's game with 35 1/3 innings pitched. He has 27 strikeouts on the young campaign. As well, he has a 5.09 earned run average. He was also selected to be an All-Star at this year's All-Star game in Edmonton for the Cardinals, alongside Matt Corman, and Noah Barron. That's right. Mind blank for a sec. 1-1 the count to the third baseman, McDougall. Low and outside, ball 2. McDougall hits a single to right field to get the Miller Express with a runner here in the top of the second. 1 gone. Zach Campbell, the left fielder, now up for the Miller Express here in the top of the second. 1 gone. Anderson with a good first pitch fastball for a called for strike. McDougall playing some mind games with Jake Anderson over at first base. Ground ball. Squeaks through the infield into right field. The Miller Express got runners on first and second here. 1 gone only in the top of the second. And that'll bring to the plate the shortstop, Ty Lightly. Swing and a miss from Lightly makes the count 0-1. Lightly will find the gap. They'll score at least 1 run here in the top of the second.
RBI double for Lightly brings up to first baseman, number 24, Isaiah Arroyo.
Isaiah Arroyo, the first baseman, now up for the Miller Express after Lightly hit the stand-up double. Also had an RBI, as the Miller Express now lead the Cardinals 1-0 here in the top of the second. Arroyo swings and misses for strike one. Anderson steps off. The 0-1 from Anderson, fouled off by Arroyo. 0-2 the count to the Miller Express first baseman. The 0-2 from Anderson, fouled off again by Arroyo to keep the count at 0-2. Swing and miss from Arroyo as he goes down on strikes for out number 2 for the Miller Express here.
Now batting right fielder number 30, Jeremy Santos. Jeremy fails to reach base. Beer will go on sale, 2 for $8 for 5 minutes at the Joe Beaver.
Jeremy Santos now out for the Miller Express with 2 gone here in the top of the second. The Miller Express already have 1 scored here in the second to lead the Cardinals 1-0. The right fielder Santos takes the first pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Just a tad outside for ball 2. 2-0 the count to the right fielder Santos. The 9-hole hitter tonight for the Miller Express. A called first strike to make the count 2-1. Second pitch was close. Ball 3 in the dirt, 3-1 the count. The 3-1 from Anderson. Low and inside loads the bases here for the Miller Express in the top of the second inning. And that'll bring back to the plate the center fielder Eric Marriott, who grounded out to first baseman Zach Taylor in the first inning. Miller Express with some pressure here in the top of the second. 2 gone, however. Ground ball to Taylor once again. Taylor will do it. That's it for Moose Jaw here. They score 1 run off 3 hits. No Yorkton Cardinal errors. 3 men left on base. Heading to the bottom of the second inning, it's the Moose Jaw Miller Express 1. The Yorkton Cardinals no score. We'll be right back with more Yorkton Cardinals baseball here on YouTube Live. Welcome back, folks, to Yorkton Cardinals baseball here on YouTube. We are in the bottom of the second inning, and leading off for the Cardinals is the first baseman, Zach Taylor. First pitch called strike from Nicolosi. Makes the count 0-1 to the first baseman, Taylor. Taylor pops this one up near the catcher. Workin will go over there, but too close to the netting. Makes the count 0-2 to Taylor. The 0-2 to Taylor. Third base umpire Pete Perot says he did go, and Taylor will go down on strikes for out number one. Kai Takahashi Ho, the left fielder for the Cardinals tonight in Game 2 of the doubleheader, now at the plate. He called for strike on Takahashi Ho. 0-1 the count. Takahashi Ho grounds to the first baseman, and he'll do it himself. 2 gone here for in the Cardinals. Bottom of the second.
Third baseman, number 15, Logan.
That brings to the plate the third baseman, Logan McDougall, with 2 here gone in the bottom of the second inning for the Cardinals. Ball 1 in the dirt on the loopy curveball from Nicolosi. Ball 1. Fouled off into the screen. Evens the count at 1-1. Ball 2 in the dirt. 2-1 the count. McDougall has won 14 for 80 on the season with a 175 average and 4 RBIs to his name. And he takes ball 3 outside to make the count 3-1 to the Cardinals' third baseman. McDougall takes the walk. Cardinals got a base runner here in the bottom of the second inning. That brings to the plate shortstop, number 18, Grant Kosenki. One runner on here for the Cardinals in their bottom half of the second. 2 gone, however. High and inside to Kosenki. Makes the count 1-0 to the Cardinal shortstop. Kosenki with a high fly ball in foul territory. Moose Jaw's left fielder's on the run, and he will get there. So for the Cards, no runs, no hits, no Moose Jaw errors. 1 left on, heading to the top of the third. The Miller Express still lead 1-0. We'll be right back with more Yorkton Cardinals baseball here on YouTube Live. Welcome back, folks, to Yorkton Cardinals baseball here on YouTube. We are heading into the top of the third.
Leading off the Moose on the top of the third is the second baseman, number 11, Blake Gallagher.
Leading off for the Moose Jaw Miller Express is the second baseman, Blake Gallagher. Gallagher was a strikeout victim in the first inning. Strikeouts swinging, to be exact. Inside on Gallagher. 1-0 the count. The 1-0 from Anderson. Pops straight up in the infield. Looks like Grant Kosanke will get under it. Gallagher pops out to Grant Kosanke for out number 1 here for the Miller Express in the top of the third. Michael Borst, the designated hitter, up next for the Moose Jaw Miller Express. Was a flyout victim back in the first inning as well. Flew out to the center fielder, Phil Wayland. Called for strike, 0-1 the count. Yeah, I can flick him on after this. Ground ball, sneak through the infield to the left fielder, Takahashi Ho. The Moose Jaw Miller Express have a runner on here in the top of the third. Only one gone, though. Cole Workin, the catcher, coming up now for the Miller Express. He was also a flyout victim to Takahashi Ho back in the first inning. Curveball upstairs. Ball 1 to Workin. Workin fouls it back for strike 1. Evens the count at 1-1. Ball 2 isn't. Borst moves up to second base on the wild pitch. Runner on second base for the Miller Express here in the second. In the third inning, rather. Called second strike. Evens the count at 2-2 to the catcher, Workin. The 2-2 from Anderson. Fills the count at 3-2 while Michael Borst moves over to third base on the wild pitch. The full count offering from Anderson. Cardinal infield playing shallow. And that one will fly. The sac fly for the catcher, Workin, increases. Increases the Moose Jaw Miller Express lead to 2-0 here in the early stages of this game. Now batting is the third baseman, Jordy McDougall. McDougall hit a single to right field back in the second inning. Last inning, he also scored to give the Miller Express the 1-0 lead as they now lead 2-0. Bunting pops it straight up. Cade Corbett looking for it. And it will drop for a first pitch strike. Outside evens the count at 1-1. Pops it straight up and back. Makes the count 1-2 to the third baseman, Jordy McDougall. The 1-2 offering from Jake Anderson. Fouled off once again by the third baseman, McDougall. Keeps the count at 1-2. Once again, the 1-2 offering. Hit on the line to left field. Looks like Takahashi Ho will get there. McDougall on his horse to second base, and he will get in there safe for a 2-out double here for the Moose Jaw Miller Express in the top of the third.
McDougall with the double, now batting left fielder, number 28, Zach Campbell.
Zach Campbell, the left fielder, now left for the Miller Express. Hit a single to right field in the second inning. High and outside for ball 1 to Campbell. Outside once again, ball 2. 2-0 the count. Called first strike. 2-1 the count. Jordy McDougall steals third. Runner on third here for the Miller Express. 3-1 the count. Pop straight up. Looks like it will get out to fill the count at 3-2 to the left fielder, Zach Campbell. Fouled off at the plate. Keeps the count full at 3-2. Bob straight up to the center fielder, Phil Whalen. 1 run, 2 hits. No Yorkton Cardinal errors. 1 man left on for the Miller Express in the third. Heading to the bottom of the third inning, the Cardinals half of the third inning. The Moose Jaw Miller Express currently lead 2-0. Other games around the Western Canadian Baseball League, a busy one. If you didn't Here earlier, the Moose Jaw Miller Express defeated the Cards in Game 1 of the doubleheader 8-4. Also completed already tonight, the Medicine Hat Mavericks blanked the Brooks Bombers 14-0. The Weyburn Beavers and Regina Red Sox game has been postponed. My guess is to some rain. In the bottom of the fourth, Fort McMurray leads Okotoks 4-1. Also in the bottom of the fourth, Edmonton is leading the Melville Millionaires 6-0. And in the bottom of the fourth, the Swift Current 57s lead the Lethbridge Bulls 3-0. We'll be right back with the bottom of the third here at Ghibli Park right after this. Welcome back, folks, here to Cardinals Baseball on YouTube. We are in the bottom of the third. The catcher, Cade Corbett, is now at the plate. A ball and 2 strikes to him right now. Ground ball back up the middle. Miller Express shortstop to first base for out number 1.
That's out number 1. Now batting second baseman, number 14, Tanner Huber.
That brings up second baseman Tanner Huber, the Saskatchewan product. High and outside, ball 1 to Huber. Swing and a miss from Huber evens the count at 1-1. Ground ball to the second baseman. Huber grounds out for out number 2.
Second out of the inning, now batting right fielder, number 20.
That brings back to the plate the right fielder, Sean Monroe, who was a flyout victim to second base back in the first inning. A good curveball from Nicolosi makes the count 0-1. The 0-1. Another curveball just outside this time for ball 1. Evens the count at 1-1 for the right fielder, Sean Monroe. Fouled off right into Workin's masks. Now 1-2. 1-2, the count to the right fielder, Monroe. Monroe goes down on strikes. Nothing for the Cards here. No runs, no hits, no Moose Jaw Miller Express errors, and nobody left on base at the end of 3 innings. It's the Moose Jaw Miller Express 2, the Yorkton Cardinals no score. We'll be right back with more Yorkton Cardinals baseball and the 4th inning from Jubilee Park right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 4th inning of this Western Canadian Baseball League matchup between the Miller Express and the Yorkton Cardinals. Miller Express currently lead 2-0, thanks to a 1-run second and a 1-run third from the Miller Express. The shortstop tied lightly at the plate leading off for the Miller Express. Fouls the first pitch out for strike 1.
That's a pause. You saw a foul ball. Please take that ball back to the canteen and get yourself $1.
Good curveball from Jake Anderson. Makes the count 0-2 to the shortstop lightly. The look in on the 0-2 from Anderson. Catches him looking. 1 gone in the Miller Express top of the 4th here.
That's the first out of the inning. Now batting first base, number 24,
Isaiah Arroyo, the Miller Express first baseman, now at the plate. Arroyo hits it high and deep to left field, but Takahashi Ho is there. 2 gone in the Miller Express 4th.
That's the second out of the inning. Now batting right fielder, number 30, Jeremy Santos.
Jeremy Santos, the right fielder, now up for the Miller Express. He was took a walk back in the 2nd inning. However, he was left on base. The annual beer batter, we call it here at Jubilee Park, fails to reach base. Beer goes on sale. Usually gets a little cheer out of the crowd. Today, right now is the time. We need a no from a beer batter here, according to our statistician and baseball wizard, Greg Anderchuk. No beer batter has gone out yet today against the Miller Express. Ball in the dirt evens the count at 1-1 to Santos. Santos with a high fly ball to left field, and with that's it for Moose Jaw. In the top of the 4th, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on, and beer's on sale. Heading to the bottom of the fourth, it's the Moose Jaw Miller Express 2, the Yorkton Cardinals no score. We'll be right back with more Yorkton Cardinals baseball here on YouTube Live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here in the bottom of the fourth inning at Jubilee Park, and the Moose Jaw Miller Express are in town taking on the Cardinals. Phil Whalen is at the plate now. The center fielder went down on strikes back in the first inning. Takes a called for a strike. 0-1 the count. Ball one in the dirt, evens the count at 1-1. High and upstairs, 2-1 the count to the center fielder, Whalen. Fouled back into the screen, evens the count at 2-2. Ground ball hit hard to the third baseman. He bobbles it. Just in time to get the center fielder, Whalen. That brings to the plate the designated hitter, Luke Shakaric. Shakaric was a ground out victim to the first baseman back in the first inning. Outside, ball one to Shakaric. Curveball is outside, makes the count 2-0 to the designated hitter. Swing and a miss from Shakaric. Makes the count 2-1. Ground ball hit down the first base line, but is foul to even the count at 2-2. Swing and a miss from Shakarik. Goes down on strikes for out number 2. Now batting first baseman, number 24, Zach Taylor.
Now batting first baseman, number 24, Zach Taylor.
Taylor was called out on strikes back in the second inning for the Cardinals. Went around just enough to be called out. The 0-0 pitch to Taylor is in there for a called first strike. Swing and miss from Taylor makes the count 0-2 to the Cardinals first baseman. Taylor with a swing and a miss. That does it for the Cards here in the bottom of the 4th. No runs, no hits, no moose jaw. Miller Express errors, and nobody left on base. Heading to the top of the 5th, it's the Moose Jaw Miller Express 2. The Yorkton Cardinals, no score. We'll be right back with Yorkton Cardinals baseball here on YouTube Live. Welcome back, folks, to Yorkton Cardinals baseball here on YouTube Live. We are in the top of the 5th. Once again, we are only playing 7 innings tonight due to the doubleheader with the Miller Express, which they won 8-4 earlier today. Leading off for the Miller Express is the center fielder, Eric Marriott. Marriott was a ground-out victim back in the 2nd and also a ground-out victim in the 1st. Bunting here, though, in the top of the 5th and fouls it back into the screen. 0-1 the count. The 0-1 from Anderson. Good curveball from Anderson makes the count 0-2 to the Miller Express center fielder. Fouled into the Cardinal dugout. Keeps the count at 0-2. Ball in the dirt to make the count 1-2. Just a tad low, evens the count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the center fielder, Marriott. Curveball inside to Marriott. He fills the count at 3-2. The full count offering from Anderson. It's fouled back. Still 3-2. Fouled off at the plate. Off Marriott, actually. Once again, keeps the count 3-2. Fouled off 3 pitches in this at-bat. 4 pitches he's fouled off during this at-bat. Music Man strikes again. Just a tad upstairs to Marriott walks.
Now batting second baseman number 11, Blake Gallagher.
Miller Express got a runner on here in the top of the 5th inning. Nobody gone, however. Bringing to the plate second baseman Blake Gallagher. Gallagher struck out in the 1st and was also a flyout victim to Grant Kosenki in the 3rd. Marriott's on the run. In there at second base with a stolen base. Called for a strike, however, on the second baseman Gallagher to make it 0-1. Pop straight up. Logan McDougall will go into foul territory, and he'll be there. Gallagher pops out in foul territory to the third baseman, Logan McDougall. FF5 if you're keeping score at home. Brings to the plate Michael Borst, the designated hitter today for the Miller Express. Reached base once today with a single in the 3rd. He also scored to give the Miller Express the 2-0 lead. Also flew out to Phil Whalen back in the 1st. Look close, but just a tad outside. Ball 1 to Borst. Inside on Borst to make it 2-0. The 2-0 offering from Jake Anderson. It's grounded to third base. Fair ball. Michael Borst with the slide-in double and the RBI. That'll bring to the plate the catcher, Cole Workin. Workin has flown out twice tonight. However, one of them was a sacrifice fly that gave the Miller Express the 2-run cushion. High curveball from Anderson. Makes it 1-0. Cade Corbett will go out there to give him a visit, and while he is doing that, we'll take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard. As I said earlier, the Moose Jaw Miller Express defeated the Cardinals 8-4 here at Jubilee Park in part 1 of the doubleheader. Medicine Hat blanked Brooks 4-0. That was a final. Regina and Weyburn's game has been postponed, looks like to July 29th due to some rain, I'm guessing. In the top of the 6th, Fort McMurray leads Okotoks 6-1. Melville trails Edmonton in the bottom of the 6th, 6-1 as well. And the Lethbridge Bulls have come back 2 runs and now trail the Swift Current 57s 3-2 at Spitz Stadium in the bottom of the 6th inning. Cole Workin fouls one off here, evens the count at 1-1. The 1-1 offering from Jake Anderson is in there. Called second strike. 1-2 the count to the catcher. Hit foul down the line. Get out of play. Keeps the count at 1-2. The 1-2 offering once again. Swing and a miss from Yorkton as he goes down on strikes for out number 2 here for the Miller Express fifth. Now batting is the third baseman, Jordy McDougall. McDougall had a single and also scored in the second. He also had a double in the third, so he's 2 for 2 on the line tonight for the Miller Express third baseman. First pitch, swing and a miss from McDougall. Makes it a 0-1 count. Oh, and 1 the count to McDougall. Just a tad outside evens the count at 1-1. Ball in the dirt. McDougall wanted to go around, not too sure if he did or not, according to the home plate umpire. As far as we know, it's a 2-1 count to the Miller Express third baseman. Michael Borst also moves over to third on the wild pitch. Outside makes it a 3-1 count to Jordy McDougall. Ball 4 upstairs. McDougall draws the walk here. 2-out walk for McDougall in the top of the fifth inning. Zach Campbell, the left fielder, now up for the Miller Express here in their part of the fifth inning. Ooh, is a close pickoff attempt from Jake Anderson, however. McDougall is back in there. Called for strike. 0-1 the count to Zach Campbell, the left fielder tonight for the Miller Express. Sun is set here at Jubilee Park. It's getting a little chilly. Lights are on. Still playing ball. Good curveball from Jake Anderson makes it an 0-2 count. High and upstairs. 1-2 the count. The 1-2. Back over to first to check on McDougall. He's in there safe once again.
So just call him caught stealing 1-6.
Okay. That'll do it for Moose Jaw here in their top of the fifth. Jordy McDougall
In the top of the fifth, there's 1 run, 1 hit.
went a little earlier than he thought he could, and he gets caught stealing. No runs, rather 1 run, 1 hit. No Yorkton Cardinal errors, 2 left on. Heading to the bottom of the fifth, Moose Jaw leads the Yorkton Cardinals 3-0. We'll be right back with more Yorkton Cardinal baseball here on YouTube Live. Welcome back, fans, to this Yorkton Cardinal game between the Miller Express and the Cardinals. Kai Takahashi-Ho leading off for the Cardinals here in their half of the fifth inning. Ball 1 in the dirt to Takahashi-Ho. Takahashi-Ho is hit by the pitch. Cardinals got a runner here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Now batting is the third baseman, Logan McDougall. McDougall was walked back in the second inning. The check on Takahashi-Ho is unsuccessful for the Miller Express. Another check on Takahashi-Ho is also unsuccessful. Logan McDougall fouls that one off. Second pitch in the dirt evens the count at 1-1 to the Cardinal third baseman. In the dirt once again, 2-1 the count. McDougall pops that one up. Looks like it's going to be caught by the second baseman. One gone here in the Cardinal fifth. McDougall flies out to the second baseman.
Now batting the shortstop, number 18, Grant Kosenki.
Which brings to the plate the shortstop, Grant Kosenki, who is a flyout victim back in the second inning for the Cardinals. Flew out to the left fielder. Takahashi Ho still at first base. A called for strike on Grant Kosenki. The check on Takahashi Ho. Back in there. One and one the count to the shortstop, Kosenki. Takahashi Ho leads off first base. Swing and a miss from Kosenki makes the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball to the shortstop. And he misses it. Takahashi Ho is heading to third base. The infield air.
Kosenki aboard on the air. Now batting the catcher, number 5, Cade Corbett.
That brings to the plate Cade Corbett, the catcher. Cardinals got runners on first and third. Grant Kosenki's over at first. Takahashi Ho is at third base, and a swing and a miss from Cade Corbett makes it an 0-1 count. Only one gone here in the Cardinal fifth. The check on Grant Kosenki. He's in there. Ball in the dirt evens the count at 1-1. The 1-1 offering to Cade Corbett. Hits a ball up the middle. The single from Cade Corbett scores. Takahashi Ho and the Cardinals are on the board here.
RBI single for Corbett brings up the second baseman, number 14, Tanner Huber.
Cade Corbett with a single at the right time in the ball game. That brings to the plate the second baseman, Tanner Huber. But before that, we will get a visit from the Moose Jaw manager to Nicolosi. As he's doing that, checking in some other games around the league tonight. Top of 7, Fort McMurray still leads Okotoks 6-1. Bottom of 7, Edmonton has increased their lead over the Millionaires of Melville 8-1. And in the top of the 7th, Swift Current has increased their lead to 4-2 over the Lethbridge Bulls. Just a reminder, folks, for tomorrow against the Miller Express, there will be no online broadcast. We apologize for the inconvenience, but we will be back live on YouTube on Sunday afternoon when the Regina Red Sox pay a visit to Jubilee Park. First pitch is at 2:05. Just a reminder, not 7:05, it's at 2:05. A little miscommunication here between Workin and Nicolosi. Get a quick mound visit. Runners on first and second here for the Cardinals in the bottom of the fifth inning. One run already scored to cut the lead to 3-1 for the Miller Express. First pitch, low and down to Tanner Huber. 1-0 the count. The 1-0 offering. Swing or miss from Huber evens the count at 1-1. Looks like we got some action in the Moose Jaw bullpen as a reliever has started to warm up. Might be in case they run into some trouble here. Inside to Huber, 2-1 the count. Two balls, one strike to the second baseman, Tanner Huber. The look in. Ground ball down the first base line. They'll get one, and that's all they'll get.
Huber aboard on the fielder's choice. Now batting right fielder, number 20, Sean Monroe. You got that one. So fielder's choice. And then here, let me.
Sean Monroe hits a ball to right field and will be caught by the right fielder. That does it for the Cards, though, here in the fifth. They do get one run off one hit, one Moose Jaw Miller Express error, and two men left on base. After five complete, it's the Moose Jaw Miller Express 3, the Yorkton Cardinals 1. We'll be right back with more Yorkton Cardinals baseball and the sixth inning here at Jubilee Park right after this. Welcome back, folks, to Yorkton Cardinals baseball here on YouTube Live. We are in the top of the sixth. Just a reminder, this game was only a 7-inning game due to it being a doubleheader. And 2 games in one night is just a little too much, so they play 7 innings. But leading off for the Miller Express in the top of the sixth is the left fielder, Zach Campbell. Campbell singled in the second. He flew out in the third inning. He flew out to Phil Whalen in center field. The first pitch from Jake Anderson here in the 6th is a swing and a miss from Campbell.
Congratulations, Brad.
Ground ball to the second baseman, Huber. Huber over to Zach Taylor for out number 1 here in the 6th inning.
That's out number 1. Now batting shortstop number 3.
That brings to the plate shortstop Ty Lightly. Lightly is doubled in the 2nd. He struck out in the 4th for the Miller Express. 3-1 Miller Express lead here in the 6th inning. 1 gone for the shortstop Lightly. Swing and a miss from Lightly makes it an 0-1 count. Fouled off 0-2 the count to the shortstop Lightly. Fouls it back once again. Oh and 2, the count remains to the shortstop Ty Lightly. 1 for 2 line on the evening. Pop straight up to the second baseman. Looks like Tanner Huber's heading out there. And he does get it. 2 gone here in the Miller Express 6th.
First baseman number 24, Isaiah Arroyo.
Isaiah Arroyo, the first baseman for the Miller Express this evening. 0 for 2 for him on the evening as he struck out back in the 2nd and flew out to Takahashi Ho in left field back in the 4th inning. Pops this one straight up. Looks like it might stay in play. I'm not too sure. Cade Corbett's back there. And he misses it. Still a foul ball. Makes the count 0-1 to Arroyo. The 0-1 offering is outside for ball 1. Yeah. A good pitch from Anderson, but home plate umpire thinks different. Just a bit inside. Ball 2. Home plate umpire got a little bit excited. 2-2 the count. Strikeout would have ended the inning, but hits that one down the line. And it is fair. Saw the white chalk pop up. Arroyo's in there at second with a stand-up 2-out double for the Miller Express here in the 6th inning.
Now batting right fielder number 30, Jerry Santos. Jerry fails to reach base. Beer will go on sale, 2 for $8 for the next 5 minutes at the Joe Beavers Beer Shack.
Two gone here for Jeremy Santos, the right fielder. Pops that one straight up. Santos reaches. Seems like the left fielder may have lost it. Other than that, Santos gets a single and also single and the RBI for the 9-hole hitter, Jeremy Santos. Brings back the center fielder and leadoff hitter for the Miller Express in Eric Marriott. Marriott has gone 0 for 2 on the evening with 2 groundouts, and he also walked. The check over there on Santos. Santos is on the move. Cade Corbett to second base. Kosenki not in time. Santos with a stolen base. Believe that was a ball called at the plate to make it 1-0. Ball 2 upstairs makes it 2-0 the count. Millers now lead 4-1 here in the top of the 6th inning. Ball just outside makes it 3 balls, no strikes to the leadoff hitter, Eric Marriott. The 3-0 from Anderson. Anderson with the attempt to pick off Santos at second base, however, goes into center field, and Santos moves up to third base. Speaking of the batter, though, Eric Marriott takes a first pitch called strike in there to make the count 3 balls, 1 strike. Flown to left field, and Takahashi Ho has it. That's it for Moose Jaw, though. They score 1 run off 2 hits, 1 Yorkton Cardinal error, and 1 man left on. Heading to the bottom of the 6th inning, it's the Moose Jaw Miller Express 4, the Yorkton Cardinals 1. We'll be right back with more Yorkton Cardinals baseball here on YouTube Live. Welcome back, folks, to Yorkton Cardinals baseball here on YouTube Live. We are in the bottom of the 6th inning, and leading off for the Cardinals is the center fielder, Phil Whalen. Hello out there to Peter Shakirik. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. We appreciate your support, and proud to bring Yorkton Cardinals baseball here and to all the families who are from near and far. Phil Whalen fouls that one back for strike one. Ball in the dirt, evens the count at 1-1. 1-1 the count to the center fielder, Whalen. Curveball outside, according to the home plate umpire. Makes it 2-1 the count, 2 balls, 1 strike. Swing and a miss from Whalen. Evens the count at 2-2. Swing and a miss from Whalen. He goes down on strikes for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. That brings to the plate the designated hitter tonight for the Cardinals, Luke Shakirik. Shakirik has grounded out and struck out tonight so far, back in the 1st and 4th inning. The first pitch to Shakirik is in there for a called strike. Well, there to Greg Symboliski. Thank you for tuning in tonight from Winnipeg. We once again appreciate the support of Cardinal baseball. 0-1 the count to the designated hitter, Shakirik. Shakirik pops that one straight up to third base. Nobody knows where it is. And it drops. Single. Oh, and the throw is over the second baseman's head, and Shakirik is heading to third. Shakirik put on the boots. And as it may seem, Luke Shakirik gets an inside the park home run on some errors, but he does get home.
Shakirik with the double and reaches home on the air. Now batting first base number 24, Zach Taylor. So that's a double. Who's through that?
1 sec.
It's just like E double and
Third baseman threw it.
okay. Just E5 and just get down.
So Luke Shakirik with the double and also got home on the air and the throwing error to second base from the third baseman for the Miller Express. Cuts that lead to 4-2 late here in the 6th inning. That brings up Zach Taylor. He fouls off the first pitch. 0-1 the count. Zach Taylor pops this one out to the shortstop for out number 2 in the Cardinal 6th. Now batting is the left fielder, Kai Takahashi-Ho. Ground out victim, was also hit by a pitch, and he scored also back in the 5th inning. Yes, sir. 4-2 right now for the Moose Jaw Miller Express in the 6th. The first pitch to Takahashi-Ho is just outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Lines it straight to the shortstop, and that will do it here for the Cardinals in the 6th. They score 1 run, 1 hit, 1 Moose Jaw Miller Express error, and nobody left on base heading to the top of 7. It is the Moose Jaw Miller Express 4, the Yorkton Cardinals 2, We'll be right back with more Yorkton Cardinals baseball here on YouTube Live. Welcome back here, folks. We're just getting some changes fixed and good to go here for the system. Michael Borst, the designated hitter, is now up. Blake Gallagher led off for the Miller Express here in the seventh, but he did fly out to center field for out number one. Count currently 3-1 to Michael Borst. Tanner Huber is now in for the Cardinals on the mound. Luke Shakira goes over to first base. Garrett Houston, his Melville product, is in right field. Good pitch from Huber, but a little low, and he Michael Borst draws the walk. As we have a little mound visit here, we will check in with the out-of-town scoreboard. Bottom of the 8th, Swift leads Lethbridge 5-2. In the bottom of the 8th, Edmonton is beating up on Melville 10-1. Top of the 9th, Fort McMurray leads Okotoks 6-3. Earlier today, Medicine Hat blanked Brooks 14-0, and Moose Jaw defeated Yorkton in the earlier game today in the doubleheader 8-4. Called for a strike on the catcher, Cole Workin. 0-1 the count. Inside for ball number 1, evens the count at 1-1. Called second strike on the outside corner. 1-2 the count to the catcher, Cole Workin. Ball just up, evens count in 2-2. Ground ball will get into left field. Miller Express with 2 runners on here in the top of the 7th.
Now batting third baseman for 17.
Michael Borst is on second. Cole Workin is on first. And Jordy McDougall, the third baseman, back up to the plate for the Miller Express. Walked in his last at-bat in the 5th, but was also caught stealing. That ended the 5th inning for the Miller Express. The first pitch from Huber is grounded to McDougall. Touches his bag and over to first base. And that's a double play. That'll do it here for the Miller Express in their 7th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on. Heading to the bottom of the 7th, it's the Moose Jaw Miller Express 4 and the Yorkton Cardinals 2. We'll be right back from the bottom of the 7th here on YouTube Live. Welcome back, folks, here to the bottom of the 7th inning and the final inning for the Cardinals, as we did have a doubleheader earlier on today. And with doubleheaders in the Western Canadian Baseball League, there are only 7-inning games, so this will be the final at bat for the Cardinals, unless we do tie it here. Crossing our fingers, leading off for the Cardinals is the third baseman, Logan McDougall. McDougall walked and also flew out to the second baseman earlier today. 0-for-1 on the line for him tonight. McDougall will reach on the infield error. Cardinals got a runner here in the bottom of the 7th. McDougall reaches on the infield there to the shortstop. Now batting is the shortstop, Grant Kosenki. Kosenki flew out in the second, also reached on an infield error. First pitch in this count, though, is upstairs for ball one. Some action in the Moose Jaw bullpen as their starter is still in the game. Ball two outside to Kosenki. 2 balls, no strikes. None gone here in the bottom of the seventh. The 2-0. Fouled straight back into the netting. 2-1 the count to Grant Kosenki. A lot of people still stuck around here to see how the Cards will do in the bottom of the seventh.
E1 and then just advance to the third.
Grant Kosenki with a 2-1 count right now. As Nicolosi trying to pick off infield fly right to the pitcher. Being called off by Jordy McDougall. Kosenki flies out to Jordy McDougall for out number 1 here in the bottom of the seventh inning. Pinch hitter here for the Cardinals.
Pinch hitting for the Cardinals is number 30, Matt Foreman.
Matthew Corman, the University of Calgary product, and Dino comes in to pinch hit here for Cade Corbett. Catcher pinch hitting for catcher. He's going to pop it up to the right fielder, and they're sending him. Corman flies out to the right fielder. However, they do not send Logan McDougall at third base. Still stranded at third. Coming up to bat now for the Cardinals is the pitcher, Tanner Huber.
Now batting the pitcher, number 14.
Huber reached on a fielder's choice back in the fifth. He also grounded out to the second baseman back in the third inning. Huber played second base tonight, but he also went into pitch last inning in the top of the seventh after 6 good innings from Jake Anderson. 2 gone here in the bottom of the seventh inning. 1 runner on third base, however, for the Cardinals. Swing and a miss from Huber. 0-1 the count to the Cardinal pitcher. High and upstairs, ball 1 to Tanner Huber. Tanner Huber fouls this one straight back. 1-2 the count to Huber. The 1-2 from Nicolosi. Hit straight back to him over his head. And Tanner Huber will reach the single RBI for Tanner Huber. And the Cardinals have something brewing here. Moose Jaw Miller Express aren't taking any chances here. 6 2/3 inning from tonight's pitcher and Jeff Nicolosi. Great performance from him. Only held the Cardinals to 3 hits. Cards actually didn't have a hit until roughly the 4th or 5th inning. Cards didn't have a hit too. So now pitching for the Miller Express is Jack Gamba.
Now pitching for the Moose Jaw Millers, number 26, Jack Gamba.
Jack Gamba now in for the Miller Express. Jack Gamba comes into this game. California native, a senior at Minot State. 9 games this season, not a single run allowed yet. He has 3 saves in 12 innings, 16 strikeouts, only walked 1, and 11 hits allowed during the 2019 campaign for the senior Jack Gamba. Yep, he's our first baseman. Sean Monroe is now up to bat for ball in the dirt. And it looks like we have Peyton Harris running the bases now for the Cardinals. So he takes...
Running for the Cardinals is number 1, Peyton Harris.
What's counter, Greg?
1 and 2. Ball, call, foul.
1 and 2 the count here to Sean Monroe, the Cardinals' second baseman. 2 gone here for the Cardinals. A called third strike, and now we'll end it here, folks. Final score, the Moose Jaw Miller Express 4, the Yorkton Cardinals 3. The Yorkton Cardinals' next action will be tomorrow night at 7:05 when the same Moose Jaw Miller Express visit Jubilee Park. However, we will not have a broadcast. We apologize for the inconvenience. You can follow us on Point Streak at the Yorkton Cardinals and find the game live there as well. You can follow along that way. We will also be live on Sunday afternoon at 2:05 when the Regina Red Sox visit Jubilee Park. Once again, we will be live on Sunday afternoon at 2:05 p.m. Central Standard Time when the Regina Red Sox pay a visit back to Jubilee Park. Final score, once again, was the Moose Jaw Miller Express 4, the Yorkton Cardinals 3. I'm Luke Walters saying goodnight from Jubilee Park.